Hello.
Fa la
There
la
we are.
la 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 la.
What is with all the Christmas music today? What is
Deck
with
the halls,
everybody doing
baby.
fucking Christmas? It's only the 23rd of July, so it's not Christmas in July yet. But I have so many people have been singing Christmas songs today. What is happening?
Because eventually, when you're in the midst of like 1,000 different like heat waves, you're like, oh, I long for cooler weather. And then when you're in the middle of a shit winter, you're like, God, I can't wait for it to be summertime.
So everyone's singing
Yep.
Christmas songs, trying to summon the spirit of Christmas or something.
Yep.
Yes. And if he shows up,
Run.
fucking kick his ass out of your house. Like, as
What happened?
actually, I'm gonna ask
Go ahead.
what happened in my life. So many
We
things.
went off the rail already. No, what were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say, like, as dads, like as parents, Christmas is. I'm curious if you have a different perspective on Christmas now. Like, you don't. It's for you guys. It's probably stressful, but also really rewarding because
Yeah.
you give a gift to your kids, and then they're like, "Oh, you're the greatest."
Do you want to start, Mike? Do you need a minute?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of how to word it because I think some ears might still be awake. So I've got to be very politically correct here.
Wait, what? Go ahead.
The kids might still be awake.
Yeah, where did the politically correct come from?
I don't know where I was going with that.
Okay.
I get so like I think I get, and if you nod, blink your eyes twice if what I'm saying is correct.
Are you safe? Do you need
'Cause
an
you're,
adult?
are you in a hostage situation right now?
Is Sawyer standing behind you?
Yep.
It's probably a double-edged sword because you're going to buy him something that you think he likes, and then he might be like, "Oh, this isn't what I wanted," and you're like, "Bro,
I could see.
I toiled in the coal mines to get you this 6-pack of crew socks."
God damn it, Santa! What the fuck?
Oh, yeah, right, because a lot of your kids probably still believe.
Yeah,
Right.
That's more what I was trying to get at.
yeah. We're
Not
trying
to
to
say
keep
how I
that
feel
alive
about
as long as possible. Like, I think for me, the girls, I'm just trying to like capture what Christmas made me feel like during Christmas when I was younger, or what it seemed like to me. Like, there was a whimsy when we were younger, and Christmas seemed not literally magical, but it was different. Everything felt different. Everything looked different. People behaved differently during Christmas. And it
Yep.
actually felt like a time when people got together and you could actually enjoy it, and it wasn't stressful. But like, it is stressful now, and trying to keep that alive and juggling work and school and the kids and all this shit, it's a fucking lot. So I have a lot of respect for our parents growing up and taking care of us and showing us that stuff, because it's a lot. But I think I'm doing a good job because they are excited for Christmas every time it gets to be December.
That's great. Yeah, I'm sure you guys do really well. You guys are good parents. Like, my kid will, I'll be like, "Hey, dude, I got you
Hey,
this bag of
dude,
trash."
I got you this bag. Dude, are you Carl
Maybe
from
like-
Aqua Teen? It sounds just like his dad when he did the flashback for Christmas. Gotta
Oh my
boil
God, I
the
was
carpet
watching-
before you eat it.
Terry actually and I are now both watching Gravity Falls,
Oh, yeah.
and oh, it's so good.
Great
But the
show.
best part of it's so funny. But the best part is there was one part. There's a part where Dipper, like, is, I think it's the episode where Mabel is running the Mystery Shack while, whatever, Stan is like trying to win money on a game show. Fine. Dipper is trying to like show off a monster that shows you your worst fears, and there's a scene where like to get the monster grabs Mabel, and he's about to like look into her eyes, and then Dipper's like, "Look at this," and he pulls up a mirror like you would assume, and the thing's worst fear was he looks in the mirror and he's his father. So he's just the same monster, but he's wearing glasses.
Oh no.
And he goes, I've turned into my own father. And like Terry saw that, she was dying. I was dying when I saw it. It is so freaking funny, man. I don't know why I just brought that up.
No, that's fine. I don't know how to rope it into what we're going to talk about, but that's okay. I'm not the
let me-
host
hold
this
on.
time.
As the host, yeah, as the host,
I'm just going to kick back and relax. I don't got to do shit.
No.
ready for this one? Buckle in. What happened?
I got scared.
What?
My wife ran in and screamed at me.
Take it.
Scared the crap out of me.
Oh.
Anyway.
Anyways, the remake is every Christmas you give to your kids is a remaster of your Christmas when you were a kid.
Wow. Nicely done. You got your
I would drop my
degree
mic,
coming into
but I
play
would
here.
lose my. Yes, 10 years of college. I tell that to people at work all the time. They're like, I'm like 8 years of college for a 4-year degree.
Yeah. Nice. So, what? I'm trying not to like take over and do hosting duties, but if anyone's not,
No, you're right. So
okay.
we did the fair thing, which again we did off camera because
I think
we
that's
had
going to be a
technical.
social video. It's short and sweet.
Oh, yes.
I'm going to throw it up so people can see it too.
Join our Patreon and you can see us spin the wheel.
Ooh, I'll hide it behind the Patreon wall, so you have to pay $5 to see it. You get to watch us spin
Yeah.
the wheel. We
Yeah,
keep talking
and then
about
watch
the
us go. Why is the browser so slow?
Well, that's why we need many $5 so we can get better equipment.
That's what I'm saying. Pay to listen. So we spun the wheel, and we've the wheel, which is an impartial judge, stated that we are going to be discussing. We're going to have a let's talk about today, and that let's talk about is going to be about remakes and versus remasters. Ooh, and our fearless leader is not going to be hosting this
You're
one.
pointing at Mike. I'm on the other
No,
side.
I'm pointing
for the
at you.
Yes, I know.
No,
But
listen.
look at the screen.
Listen. Okay, fine. This guy.
I'm over here pointing at this screen. Like, you look over here. Look.
I'm going to take a picture and send it to you, and you're going to be eating so much crow that you're going to need to do a remaster of your attitude.
All right, motherfucker.
By the way, my wife bought me a shirt.
That's cute.
It is great. If you can't see it, it says "The Dog Father," and my dad bod is showing in every aspect of this shirt.
Mike's got a shirt that says the father, too.
Ooh, I'm their father. What does your shirt say?
Who, mine?
Yeah,
You can't see it, but it's a sword with a moon in front of it.
I think again. I told you before. Stop taking LSD before you start jumping on the podcast.
Gotta make it interesting
If you're gonna
somehow.
If you're going to be building models, stop huffing the glue because you start seeing things. Because there was nothing on that shirt. Ooh.
Huffing my mints. Better than nothing.
Huff them up, baby. Huff them shits up. Okay.
Anywho, what is a remake versus a remaster?
I'm actually, but you listen, host man. I'm going to field it to you guys. How would you guys define? We'll start with Mike. What is the difference between a remake and a remaster?
For me, remake is taking something and putting a new spin on it, whereas remaster is literally just upping the visuals so that it's caught up with the times.
All right. I like that. Do we agree with that, Adam?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Cool.
So
Well, if you said pretty much,
pretty much.
elaborate.
I would elaborate. That's the thing. I would go further into it.
Do it up.
So
Do it up.
remastering is generally taking. Oh no! Hang on. What did you say remake was? So I can expand upon what you said.
He's
Sorry.
People, he's out of the pilot seat for 3 seconds, and he's already in a different world, man. I told you again, if you're gonna huff paint, do it on your own damn time.
Okay. A remake is generally taking the original original game and just updating the graphics, maybe moving it to a different engine so that it runs smoother, and just basically giving it quality of life improvements that the original version of that game did not get. Whether it's smoother menu transitions, expanded options for games, better looking models, artwork, what have you, make it cleaner. Those are for remakes. Remasters is taking what you originally known as the game, like the bones of it, and then besides a fresh coat of paint, but giving it new options or different ways to play the game, but it still feels and acts like the original game.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I think you guys flipped your definitions. Fight,
Yeah.
fight.
I would have to disagree on what I would have to disagree with his explanation on remake, but remaster. I think that's once you start getting into that point of view, is how much of it's been changed or added. That would make it go from a remaster to a remake in my mind. Like Kingdom Hearts was I consider the Kingdom Hearts as a remaster, but they added features like the situation command, where you use the triangle. That wasn't in the first game. But where the other games did it well, they added it into that one. But other than that, there wasn't really much changes, and I would say that's a remaster, but it looks cleaner. Whereas Final Fantasy VII, that to me is a remake, because it's still the same story, except there's a new spin on it, and everything's revamped. It's not a turn-based game anymore. It's more like action commands type of thing. If that makes sense.
You know what? I think I got my definitions mixed up. I had to look up to see if there was a hard and fast definition, and I definitely got them flipped.
So, to host for a minute.
Uh-huh.
The funny thing is, I posted an article link, okay? And I want you to do me a favor, because you're not the only one who's confused. Wikipedia lists. Okay, so we all remember DuckTales,
Yes.
the DuckTales NES game,
Yes.
and the DuckTales NES game, right? It had a game that would come out. Hold on, I'm just trying to get back to it. DuckTales. Cool. DuckTales had a game that was called DuckTales Remastered.
Okay.
That in this list marks it as a remake. So
Yeah, that's not confusing.
who knows? Part of the reason I wanted to field it to you guys, I think that there is a lot of weird nebulous idea. There's no hard and fast rule, I don't think. I think that, to me, I think I kind of agree with, I think to me, right, based on what this whole article has, like, a remake is going to be actually, I don't know. Like, honestly, I don't know. I was going to say a remake for me would be updating the visuals, and a remaster is going to be reimagining the game. To me, does that sound correct? I don't know, because they said...
Let me read you the definition that I've got here. It says, remasters typically involve updating the resolution, frame rate, and textures of an existing game, but the underlying mechanics of the levels remain the same. In contrast, a remake rebuilds the game from scratch using a completely new engine or design. So I definitely got my definitions flip-flopped in that case.
Well, did you? Because I'm going to put in the Wikipedia article
Ah,
for
fuck.
this, and it actually tells you the complete polar opposite.
Oh my
A video
god.
game remake is a video game closely adapted from an earlier title, usually for the purpose of modernizing a game with updated graphics for newer hardware. So, the fun fact is, I think that everyone's
both.
confused about what that is. But
Yes.
the secret answer to both, and they have the same definition, is a way that video game companies both give us what we want, but also don't really need to do a lot of work. You know what I mean?
I disagree.
We'll get into it. So let's. I'm looking right now because again I have this list up, right? So on this list, and again, this is an authoritative list because this is Wikipedia, and it's not like everyone and their moms can just go in and put whatever they want in there, which is not the case because everyone does.
Yeah, my mom doesn't
It
know how to use
lists
a
that
computer.
yes, well,
Don't say it.
most people's moms don't know how to use a computer. The so the oldest video game that got a remake on this list is 1942.
Should we set like we need a set example to reference when we're saying remake versus remaster, so we all know what we're referencing and the audience knows too. Like when we say remake,
Correct.
what types of games are a remake
I would
versus
say I agree. And you know what? I will say this. I actually kind of agree. Going back over it, I kind of agree with you. I think the term remaster would make it seem like it's a new game, where a remake would make it seem like it's updated graphics. Was that your definition, or was it the opposite?
I think remake was the updating graphics and remastering was redoing the game to make it better. I think it should be the other way around because when you think about like remixing and remastering music, you're fixing it so it sounds better and cleaner and clearer.
Fair. Okay. Though, so okay,
So
remaster,
remastering is
updated
updating
graphics,
graphics.
remake. Okay.
Yes.
Cool. So,
Okay.
and by the way, guys, this is why I'm probably never going to host again because I'm already batting 1,000
Ah, you're doing
on knocking this out of the park.
Nah, you're good.
No, and I think you're right. We need to set a standard for what we define these things as, because I think it's really easy. Again, in this Wikipedia article, they list the remaster of, like, halfway through this list, they were like, we don't remember what definitions for what. So it lists that 1942, this game that released in arcades got a remake. I'm sorry, I would assume a remaster because again, it's a video game from, it's a video game that released in 1984, and it was re-released as 1942 Joint Strike in 2008. Now listed on this list as a remake, but it's a remaster. I mean, come on, like let's all agree that if you put a game, no,
Hang on.
I see.
Is is it though? Like, did they do anything to it, or did they just port it over?
Well,
Because like, think of it this way: the old Pac-Man games or Dig Dug or anything like that on the arcade, like the arcade version of those games, are those remasters because they ported them over from whatever format to the consoles?
1942 video game. Okay, so let's take a look at what this looked like. This is what the game looked like when it released in the arcade in 1984. Okay. Now
What I would
let's
expect
look
to
at
see.
joint. Right, and now let's do Joint Strike. Okay.
Oh, is this? I
Yeah,
think I know what game
I
this is
mean,
now.
right. This is what the new game looks like. So I think the
Okay,
thing
so
is,
remake.
we end
Okay,
up.
remake is correct for this then by our definition, right?
No, remaster. We said.
No,
I'm sorry. Remaster.
God damn it.
Guys, we're professionals. Remember, if you
Yes.
pay $5, you get to see what goes on behind the scenes, which is currently happening in this episode.
It is. This is the actual definition of a remake.
Okay, remake.
Yes. Yes.
So we agree that this is a remake. Okay,
Yes.
they remade this game.
Hang on, Mike. Do you agree?
It's a remake.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
I like that he's just like, yes, remake. Shut up.
so I mean, like this is, and again, just to give it a little history, like that game, the original game released in '84, the new game released in 2008. So like it's old enough to rent a car at this point, where the amount of time between when the original came out and when the remake came out, it is a comparable amount of time. The thing that actually throws me on this one, and again, the only reason I'm bringing it up is because it blew my mind that they 1984. I mean, 1942 is not like I don't think it's like a super well known game,
There's a handful
right?
of those kind of games, like top-down
Right.
shooters on
But
rails
it's like
or whatever.
it's a bullet hell game, right?
Yep.
Right. So like, but I mean, it's very interesting that they went that long. And they were like, we need to
Time for a
gussy
remake.
this up. So, reason I'm bringing this up is again, there is a long history of games being ported to new systems. I mean, I wish that they had the ability to actually parse this out a little bit better.
You know what?
Because
There was a period in when the new consoles were coming out. Not the new ones, but yeah, shit. What was it? Xbox One and PS4 around like the end of the PS3 era into the Xbox One and the PS4 era. There was a shit ton of remakes coming out, or remakes or remasters, both. And like there was it felt like half the community was excited about it, and the other half was mad that it was seemingly those games instead of new IPs or fresh games coming out.
by the way, thank you, Mike, because you actually put the 100% accurate Legacy of Kain. Slap that in there. He put into our chat that is the definition of a remaster. It goes from like PS1 graphics to nice.
Good job.
So there's a lot of them. There's a lot of, and again, this is just touching on games that are direct remakes or remasters. I mean, there's a lot of games that are like spiritual successors, which might fall into that kind of a little bit. You know what I mean? Right. That being said, because I think we've talked about this a lot on this cast, and I'll tell you my thing on it. I like it. There are good things about it, right? There are good things because again, you're going to be bringing back older IPs, maybe putting it out there for people who weren't there when it was initially released. So like
Updated
sure,
for modern
like,
sentiments and gaming habits.
Absolutely. My curiosity is because we are in this kind of world now where a lot of these IPs, not just video games, movies, everything seems to be an adaptation of a thing. And what is the most adaptation of a thing ever is when something is basically just spit shined up and put out there. One thing that, and it's funny, as I'm saying this, I'm curious, has there ever been a movie remake that has gone super well?
Yes. Evil Dead.
Lay it on me.
Yes. The
No,
remake.
not what you think is a good, faithful. Has it
wasn't
surpassed
faithful.
the original?
Yes. They lean more into the horror, and it was really well received.
Okay. I mean, and again, if we're gonna go into, God, I love the Evil Dead. I love Army of Darkness. It's such a good movie. Did you watch? Did you watch the series?
I think we talked about this. I did not, but I need to because you were telling me that it's good.
I actually haven't seen it.
Oh.
So you heard that from someone else.
Never mind then.
Do you know a different Sean? I mean, it's Massachusetts. There's like, if you threw a rock outside, you would hit a Sean.
I do not know
But
one right now.
I think the thing that's really interesting is they're really video games are weirdly positioned where this is a viable business solution and a viable way to put games back into the market. I mean, there are obviously remakes for movies, right?
It's also a new lease on
And
life for the games too, because you might find a different audience.
right. It's weird. It's a unique space because I feel like that's not something that happens in most other art media, right? Like there are homages,
Yeah.
but not like direct,
And
like
straight up
sure,
clones.
like straight up clones, right? And even like the Evil Dead, is that
Right.
written? I mean, that's not like Ash isn't in that. Ash isn't recast. No, this is like a
No,
whole different
the
cast of
Deadites are
characters
still
in
in
the
it. The
same
cabin is
universe.
still in it, but it's a different cast of characters and like things that happen. Still along the same lines, but different.
Right. So one of the reasons why I bring this up is because I did my homework and I put in notes, and which is fine because Lord only knows I put them all in like the last minute because I suck. Um, but one of the notes that I put in, right, was that where the hell are you? Here we go. Open link. So Miyamoto, right,
Yeah.
is going over why they are remaking The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. And this coming right on the heels of the again, do we call that is that a remake? I think that would be a remake, right?
You know what? They have not shown off enough for us to know. They did remaster the
No,
game for the 3DS.
no, well, we'll get to that. I'm actually was going to pivot to Star Fox.
Oh, that is an absolute remake.
Okay. Okay. So like it has some quality of life stuff. It's not just updated graphics. There's
Oh, there's
like
so much.
new shit.
They've built upon, like, it's a remake of the first game, but they've added more to it as well.
Hmm.
It's
Did you
prettier graphics.
have you
They've
played
added
it?
more. No. I've read a lot and watched people play it and learned
Uh,
what it's about. But they've
okay.
like whole new tutorial mode, whole new area to play, whole new different missions and things. It's expanded based on just running through the, I don't know, the canyons, the aisles. What do you want to call them? Just flying through,
Right.
playing the game, getting to the boss, and finishing. There's way more to do than just that now.
Right.
Right.
So
Okay.
it's a proper
So
remake.
fair. Going into this article, right? So Miyamoto was talking to Famitsu, though
Yoromoto.
I got this from Miyamoto. That's
You
what I
said
said.
Miyamoto, so I said Yoromoto.
Listen, Miyamoto, okay?
Hey, this is
A
America.
Merc. Basically, the translation was some people might say there's a lot of remakes, but after 5 years, a lot of people have outgrown games and stopped playing them. Young people today don't have the opportunity to play games from 10 years ago, so remaking them to be more playable and releasing them again is a good way to meet that demand. So, the author of this article then follows it up with, I do feel somewhat compelled to step in here and point out that yes, there is a massive problem for young people having access to games from just 10 years ago. But I'm not convinced that the answer is always multi-million dollar remakes. Perhaps better support for older hardware and permanent support for purchased games, which we've touched on,
That's where my mind was going
right,
to as soon as I heard you read that.
would better address this issue, or at the very least, not suing everyone who tries to preserve games for them.
Yes, Nintendo. I absolutely agree.
Right.
That's where my mind went to as soon as you finished reading Miyamoto's quote. I'm like, okay, remakes and remasters have a place in the industry, on the consoles, whatever. Sure. That's fine.
Mhm.
But there absolutely should be a way to play those old games and bring them forward. I think one of the better companies that's doing that is Xbox. Despite them fucking falling on their face, I don't know how many times now, they are at least
Mhm.
trying to keep their backwards compatible library current with the new systems. So a lot of stuff from the 360, which is what, 3-4 generations old now, has come forward, and you can play them on the new hardware.
One
Nintendo's
thing
trying to do that now, but it's all emulation. You still can't buy them.
Right, and not every game is going to be emulated, at least
Right.
an authorized emulation through Nintendo, right? Like
Right.
there's a million games, right? That, and again, this kind of touches on something I think we've talked about numerous times. How many times have you guys bought a game for a different platform? like, like,
I think
yeah,
I bought
yeah, me
Gears
too.
4 different times. I bought No More Heroes on the Wii, I think it was. I bought that game 3 different times between the Wii and the Switch.
Yeah,
So great.
I I bought the hell Ocarina of Time. I've bought that
I like asking this. Hey,
twice.
Mike, how many times did you buy Kingdom Hearts?
Oh God. Let's see. Uh, original system releases. Their remaster versus remakes. When they do the bundles on
Ooh,
disc, bundles and digital.
Can you imagine if they remade Kingdom Hearts with like modern sentiments and stuff? It'd feel so much better. Because playing that first game was a slog.
I don't know. Yeah, kinda. Like, I would appreciate them polishing up like the battle system, the movement, and stuff like that. But I'm not sure I would want them to update the graphics, or if they do, polish it. Because I like the toony feel of it. I think that's where I was thrown off with Kingdom Hearts 3. Like, I appreciate the graphics getting better and stuff like that, but going for realism was the wrong way to go, to be honest, in my opinion.
They're looking too Final Fantasy-esque.
Yeah, where we grew up with Kingdom Hearts being more toony than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, that was also the style of the characters at that time, like Jack and Daxter, Spyro, Crash Bandicoot, stuff like
You
that.
are not wrong. That's true. That's what was hitting at that time, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So it's funny. I'm going through the comments for this one article, and your friendo put in. He goes, bullshit. Nintendo mainly does remakes for two reasons: one good and one bad. And I kind of agree with this, right? So at least in Nintendo's case, the bad reason, it's easy money, right? There's a whole generation of, and I'll point this out too, and a lot of people have also pointed this out. I can play Ocarina of Time and Star Fox right now. I have them on this subscription, right? Well,
I can plug that in and play it now.
Well, we'll get into the whole idea of like being able to retroactively use hardware without using some sort of third party emulation or whatever. That's another whole kettle of fish. The thing that's really interesting, like, it is easy money because I think we would play Ocarina of Time again. I don't know if a kid would love playing. Ocarina of Time is a phenomenal, like like an earth-shattering game that does not play well compared to games that are out now. There are quality of life features that could be added that would make your life easier. They
Right.
did it with the 3DS version, right? So like, but and this will touch on the second point of this, but from a marketing perspective, most people are like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if Ocarina of Time was like photorealistic? And people are like, yeah, we'll buy that shit. I'm not jazzed. I'm gonna buy it. I'm absolutely gonna buy it. I'm not pleased about it, but I'm also kind of pleased about it because again, that's one of my favorite games of all time. But one of the things they also point out is training. So this person notes that, and they give a few examples. Link's Awakening. Okay, so you have, which again, there was Link's Awakening DX. There were the multiple emulations on, you could buy it through Virtual Console, and it's on the Nintendo
It was on the
subscription
3DS shop
model.
too, because I have it on my 3DS.
And I had right. But when they remade, when they actually did, I'm sorry, when they did a full remake for it, right? They used that. Oh yeah, dude. I actually knew somebody who had one. Like the is that the new 3DS?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the
I
Link Between Worlds Special Edition.
God, I love that game. Which, by the way, actually, that's a speaking of the weird fuzzy line. Link Between Worlds is a great one because
It's a
that's
direct sequel.
literally right. But when they specifically note here, Link's Awakening, they took it's not the map, but they used that art style
Hmm.
for Echoes of Wisdom.
Yes.
Metroid Samus Returns went to Metroid Dread. Um, Famicom Detective Club went to MEO. I don't know.
I don't
I've
know what
never
that
played
is.
that. Right. But
Mike
like
does.
what they can do is
Mike does.
who? Ooh. Tell us. Famicom Detective Club?
He doesn't know what it is. I was just getting his attention.
Okay. Man,
Sorry.
man,
Did you get excited?
throwing me off.
Sorry.
No, but I do see kind of the value of that. Like they're updating it and they're using that as a platform to maybe build on that IP that hasn't really had much movement, right?
I'm okay. I don't want to like throw off the discussion here, but I'm really curious
No.
because of that period of time where it seemed like there was just a glut of remakes and remasters. I'm curious if that didn't turn you guys off to the idea of remakes and remasters now.
So I'll let Mike answer. I'll I have thoughts, but what are your thoughts, Mike?
Depends on the situation, to be honest. Like some of them I'm okay with. What I'm not okay is the re-releasing of shit
Quick question
with
before
no
you jump
warranty.
further in. Is this a personal preference on the game itself or just the fact that a bunch of them are coming out? Like, are you excited about those games that you are okay with being remade or remastered, and the ones that you don't know about or don't care about, you're like, why are you bothering? Or is it just the sheer amount?
I think it's the decision of why you're bothering with some of them.
Okay.
Like
Um,
there's some spurious and like why are we remaking X game for the fifth time type deal?
yeah, pretty much.
Or like
That
remastering
that's
the
that's
first
where my
version of
trend.
a game when the fifth version's coming out, just to retread the old thing, rather than just like a game out of nowhere. It's like, we're remaking this one. Why? Like, I can see that.
Right. Like you can tell how bad that the obsession was, but like as they were getting closer with the release of Kingdom Hearts 3, them re-releasing the remastered versions of 1, 2, and the side ones,
That makes sense.
I rebought it just to go through the story again.
And it makes sense to redo it
Right,
and ship it out before them because 3 was going to be a huge game.
Right,
right.
exactly.
Yeah.
Sure. And like I understand the value in that too, because again, especially if you're going to be releasing like a new, flag, tentpole, release in a franchise. Hey, maybe we'll release, some older versions of the game, but updated to gain, a little bit of support with that. Totally understand. But to touch on your thing, I do think that there is something interesting about the glut of remakes, remasters, ports. One of the things I'll highlight is like, and I'm just going through this pretty quickly. The majority of these, it looks like, of these remakes and remasters, like a pretty high, all of them were in the year 2000s, at least for the ones that I'm looking through right now. Most of them were in the mid to late 2010s through early 2020s. So I'm curious if we are going to start seeing a lot. It is really cool to see things like, I don't know, fucking, you know, old Final Fantasy games coming back out and like, that kind of cool shit. But like, it is interesting. I feel like every 2 minutes there's a game that releases, and then like 2 weeks later, you end up with a remaster, or that seems to be like kind of a quick cash grab. Like one I'm looking at right now, Devil May Cry 4, right? Got re-released 7 years later, which is not that's not a small amount of time. That's a pretty good amount of time, but like it just moved a generation forward, right? So like it went from releasing on PS3 to PS4, or Xbox 360, Xbox One.
Talking about just hopping generations, something you mentioned earlier. What about The Last of Us?
That was
They're
one I
pretty
was going to
guilty of
touch
that.
on. So I will say, and I love Naughty Dog.
Mm-hmm.
They are kind of similar to like Rockstar, in they have really, really successful IPs that they just keep pushing out again. Same thing with Skyrim, right? How many times has Skyrim releasing on, the Samsung fridge
And-
so you can play it?
And with Bethesda 2, we just got confirmation that Fallout 3 and New Vegas are going to be remade.
Right.
Or remastered, one of the two.
And there are parts where I'm like, there's a part of me that's like, oh, that's kind of cool, but like,
I would argue Fallout 3
sometimes
doesn't need it because it's already a really good game, but like maybe giving it a fresh coat of paint would be cool, but like I don't think all the games need it.
And like going to The Last of Us, and that's probably the example for me, where it released, it was a PS3 game, right?
Yes.
PS3 era game.
Yep.
Okay. So it was a PS3 era game. Then it got the remaster for the PS4 era. And then it got part 1, the PS5 era. And and for what it's worth, I mean, I was able to upgrade it for like, I think it was like $10 or something, right? Mm-hmm. But like, fucking why, man? Like, again, I don't need 13 different versions of the same game over and over again. Like, there's a point where you eventually hit a thing of, okay, I've played Skyrim. I've played Skyrim a lot. I don't need it released again on the PlayStation 6 era, where you have like, you can smell the troll around the corner. Like, I don't need that shit, man. And like,
let's be more distinct with Skyrim. Is it really a remaster? Because at one point they set up the game, and then I feel like after that they just ported it over and gave specific consoles or those releases something special, such as like for the Switch version, you can put in amiibos and you get like Link's outfit and stuff like that in it. For other consoles, I don't know if they got anything special necessarily, but they run great on the newer hardware now. But are they actually remasters of the original, or is it just they hit a wall and then they were like, this is good enough, we'll put it out?
Well, so that's, again, going back to this definition of remaster, going back to Mike's literal pictorial evidence, that's a remaster. You know what I mean? It is a game that you have to buy again, that just looks a little bit better on a different set of hardware.
Right, but Skyrim didn't do that after a certain point. I feel like it's looked the same across whatever newer generations.
So they definitely released a remaster. Like, there was a full-on remaster, like with, PS5 level, like I remember they were like, now you have God rays. And it's like, okay, great. But again, that's still a remaster. They tweaked a few things and they put it back out. And then they slap a remaster on it.
They do a Skyrim, whatever, like
special
anniversary edition, special edition. Yeah. Is that a remake? Or is that just a conglomeration of all the DLC and stuff and then fixed up for the consoles? Because that wouldn't be a remaster. That would just be putting everything in one box.
Right, but if they have... to me, and again, going back to this idea of a remaster, but they did update graphics, right? To
a point. I feel like it stopped.
But they upgraded graphics
before it, not for that one necessarily.
Let's look on the right. That's what I'm saying. Thank you. So, like, there is very clearly a graphical difference. Like, they upgraded textures, like, and recently, right?
Right, but just because it says remastered isn't specifying which version of the game that is. Which game did that come from? And don't say Skyrim.
I mean, it could Skyrim. It's funny too because it's not actually listing Skyrim here, which is. Hold on. Yeah, why the hell is Skyrim not on this? That is wild to me.
Didn't they have
So, I get what
an
you're
audio
saying. There
version of
was
that
a
game on
point-
Amazon Echo too?
Right, and to be fair, I mean that's a remaster based
No,
on our
that's a
definition.
remake.
I'm sorry, you had an audio version of the game.
That's remaking the game for a different
I'm sorry,
hardware.
remake. Sorry. I'm never hosting again.
It's all good.
Okay, no, but that's okay. Fine, that is a remaster. That is but
Fuck.
remake. Damn it! Can never remember. Listen, I was huffing glue before the podcast. Right, that was a remake.
Okay.
For this, I think I'm sorry. For this, I mean, they did upgrade graphics. There was at least one remaster.
I agree.
Right.
Yes.
Sure. But I mean, you're right. There was also a point where there was literally like the same PS3 graphics, but it was like on random shit. Like even like the Switch version, they did add some chichkas or whatever, but it was still the same shit.
Fucking word again.
Chichkas.
Tchotchke.
Yeah. Tchotchkes.
You said that last week.
Doodads.
There you go. I like
Flim
doodads.
flams.
Now we're getting into old man
You
territory.
do like doodads. I remember back when the only Skyrim you had was a stick and you had to fight a tree.
Mike, what were you going to say?
No, I said greedlings.
Go on.
Enlighten me.
That's what like the boops and bobs. What you guys were talking about.
Boops and bobs, I love that. I'm stealing that.
Oh my god.
Like boops and bobs. What is a greedling? I've never heard that term.
It's the little like you know how on the Millennium Falcon or Star Trek, usually the stuff from like ILM, the models. It's the little details that they put on there that mean absolutely nothing, but it's just it looks cool.
Ooh, I like that term.
Okay.
Greedlings.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, man. I like greedlings.
I'm losing my mind.
Brother, I lost mine a long time ago. No, but okay, fine. Let's not use Skyrim as an example. I think the thing is, eventually there is a point where there are small incremental upgrades that they slap a remaster title on, and then you're like, bro, I don't want to buy this fucking game again.
Right.
And
Ooh, can anybody think of a bad example of a remaster? And I have one right off the bat.
Oh, what the fuck was that game that we talked about like months ago?
Tales of Symphonia. I played the shit out of it on the GameCube, and they remastered it and put it out for newer consoles, and it ran worse. It was so much worse than the original. It made me sad.
I'm actually going through this right now. I want to see if there is one.
I wasn't thinking that one. There was one that we literally put. I mean, actually, it might still be in the notes. We legitimately put a picture, a comparison of the original versus the remake, and the graphics from the original a whole lot better.
Oh, come on. Adam Jensen
Wait.
is the main character. Oh, what game is that?
Oh, God.
Oh, it's I was gonna say Siphon Filter, but it's not.
You were so
Siphon Filter,
close
is
because
it?
it looks like Siphon Filter.
Spells.
Deus Ex.
Deus Ex. That's the one.
Yeah.
Deus Ex. Right, and that's what. Or actually, if we're gonna go into that, if we're gonna go into the games re-releasing over and over again, the definitive edition of GTA.
Yeah.
Yeah, Because
Right.
they remastered their own game for the... Well, fuck. Can you really call a game for a newer generation a remaster if it's the same game? GTA 5 is in a weird spot because it came out in the PS4
not GTA
era.
5. Not GTA 5. Remember, they released 3 Vice City and San Andreas. And remember, like, people lost their shit because you
Right.
couldn't see through the rain graphics to actually see what was going on. And the aesthetics that they chose, like, you know, everyone was wearing puffy jackets in
Right.
the original game, they smoothed it out. So, like, people's arms were all weird and shit.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah. I
I mean,
remember it also ran
that's
poorly.
a right, and it ran like dog shit.
Yep.
And like that's where people I think there is a healthy amount of why do we need this? And there are like point again, like The Last of Us is a great game. When it was remastered, it was fantastic. And then they did like a full freaking remake kind of for part 1 and you're like, "But why do we need that?"
Right.
Like the game's already there, man. Like give us The Last of Us 3. And part of it is because updating the graphics isn't like paying a whole team of creative people to come up with a story. It's just updating graphics and adding some things and rock on.
See, that's where I
And
disagree, though. It's a little more work than just that.
it's not, I mean, it is, but it's not the same amount of work as
It's not the
making a
same
new
as
game.
making a new game. Yes. Yes.
Right.
Right. And if you can make the same amount of money, then why make a new game?
Do you think things like that poison the well when it comes to remakes and remasters?
I mean, yes. I think I think if you
Well,
I
that and I didn't completely finish my thought, I don't think, because I jumped between it when I was thinking about it. But, like, besides just the overabundance of one game being re released a few times, giving it different titles to be remastered or whatever,
Yep.
versus poorly released remasters, is there one over the other that poisons the well more, or is it just a ratio thing?
I mean, so I'm sorry, just to clarify, you were saying is the amount the problem or the amount is fine, but the occasional bad egg is what sours the
Yeah, one bad apple
people's
spoils
taste.
bunch kind of thing.
I think that's well, I think that if you generate a lot of hype, because people were really excited, using GTA as the example, they were really excited for that remaster, and it came out, and people were like, "Dude, what the fuck?" And that is when it becomes kind of readily apparent when, or I don't want to say readily apparent, because again, I think there were people who probably like in Rockstar that loved those 3 games and were like, we're gonna do right by them.
I don't think
I don't think it
Rockstar
was
was
completely
overseeing that, though. I thought it was a different company that was remastering those games for them.
sure, but they had to have seen, like they're just gonna hand, well, who knows, right? Even this other company, right? That I don't think that it's 100% a like a bad faith thing where they're just trying to get money, but it seems like it. You know what I mean? If you were like, "Hey, this is a full $60 release and it
Mhm.
sucks ass," I feel like I got had.
Mike, you talk.
Oh, he's pointing to me.
Yes.
No,
I was like, "Who are you pointing
I
to?"
don't think
You.
I don't think it's a specific reason. I would have to beg to differ that it's a culmination of everything. Like the sheer amount isn't the problem by itself. I think it's the sheer amount with the frequency is what's the problem at this point. And then it leads to laziness and problems, and then where we're talking where
Ooh.
it circles back to a whole bunch of other things where now we're getting to the point where they're re-releasing shit so often and claiming remastering, but things are getting sloppier. They We no longer own these items, so why are we rebuying it if we don't own it? Um, it it's everything adding up at this point. Is we're just getting tired of it.
Touching on that too, like, and that's what this article's saying is like, it seems a kind of a bad faith thing when you're like, hey, look at this shiny new thing we're putting out, when like you have the original hardware, and sometimes you can't even play the original hardware because it starts to degrade after a time.
Yeah.
And there is no option for you. Like, you bought it, it doesn't work now because you bought it, 25 years ago, and the only option that you have is either finding it in like some dump or buying an emulated version that's approved, because every single video game company after a point, if they find out their ROMs were dumped on the free interweb, whatever, they'll start suing people left and right.
Right.
And there's a point where I'm like, okay, I do kind of understand that. If you have new stuff, if stuff gets pirated, people don't get paid, companies go out of business, and smaller companies, for example, like if you find a game online that was, pirated and it came from a small developer, that developer might not be able to pay their employees. I understand that premise. The thing where it gets a little bit squicky is they'll start pulling, they'll start going to these pirating sites for games that are like 35 years old that will never get a remake. And then it's just lost media.
May just be an IP thing though too. Like you
What do you
can't
mean?
you can't give any kind of wiggle room because you have to protect the IP.
No, I mean, sure, but you also are not putting that back out there, so it's just
You're
now
just sitting on it.
dead.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Like, it's not. I get where you're coming from, Adam, but it's not. The way I see it is, the comparison is somebody spending somebody defending Pong like Disney defends Mickey Mouse. It Pong is never going to happen, whereas Mickey Mouse, it doesn't matter what iteration of it is,
That is such
they're
a
going to
funny
defend
sentence.
the mouse as best they can.
No offense to you, Mike, but that was a great sentence. Pong is never gonna happen.
I can just imagine like some kid like backward rewrites the ROM from Pong, and then he's like, "Oh, I just I couldn't find Pong on the regular market, so I just remade it in my garage." And then he goes out and like there's like 400 cops with guns pointed at him. Like, you son of a bitch. Do you have any idea how many people died to make Pong?
Jesus.
Fucking shoots him on his front lawn.
Oh my god.
I'm fucking dying, man. No, but you're right. Like, it's funny. It's funny, like, Pac-Man. Like, I mean, I'm sure Namco is probably a little bit litigious about Pac-Man, but it ain't Disney level of litigious. You know what I mean?
That's true.
And it's funny because, and like, at some point, yeah, sure, you have IPs, but at some point, your trademark's going to expire. Like, so at some point, people are going to be able to do it for free. You know what I mean? But, like, it's just so weird, the battles that are chosen. And I understand the idea that you want to make sure to police these things. But could you imagine the goodwill you would have from shit? How
Supporting
many
independent developers? People who are learning how to do these things?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, dude, you know how many Chrono Trigger? There was like this amazing Chrono Trigger fan-made 3D version that was about to come out. I remember reading about it. Everyone was losing their fucking mind, and like the day it was supposed to come out, cease and desist letter.
Yep.
Boom, Nintendo.
Drew too much eyes on it. Got too big.
But and like,
I feel like
I get it.
That's on the same level as people who take the Pokemon ROMs and will completely change all the sprites in the game and just leave like the bones, create their own story or whatever, and make the game from that. And then Nintendo shuts it down.
Well, and it's funny because, like, for example, you're talking about, you know, independent developers learning at their craft, right? Isn't Undertale basically came from a ROM hack of like Earthbound or some shit?
Ooh, I do not know. It's a very good
So
question.
Toby Fox,
I know
let
he
me
did
pull
all the
this up.
work, but like it was,
No, but Toby Fox.
I think it was him
So hold
learning
on.
to make a game, and that's how Undertale just came to be. But I didn't know that it was
Toby,
built on something.
it's not well. Toby Fox ROM hacks. So he did. Let me do this.
Did he
So
make ROM hacks before?
I'm gonna give you a whole article because
Okay.
there's a whole Wikipedia article on he made a Halloween ROM hack
Oh.
for Earthbound, and the song Megalovania, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, that came from this ROM hack.
Well, that's
So,
cool.
like, there is, and again, speaking of games that I would love to see a remake for,
Earthbound.
Earthbound,
Yeah. Wait.
and
Remake or remaster?
shut up.
Fair answer.
No, I mean to be, either or something. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. We're
if you're
still
not
waiting for
paying
Mother 2 to be translated and come out over here, which is never going to happen, but we're still waiting.
right. And again, it comes down to, as Mike so eloquently put, it comes down to how much money can somebody get from this thing, and they're not going to get a lot of money from
I'm holding up a finger because that reminds me to ask my question.
cool. Um, they're not going to get an appreciable amount of money for releasing certain games. And there's like these weird unicorns that will come out from like nowhere. Was it Live a Live that came out?
Oh, Live a
What was
Live,
that?
yeah. That was
Right,
that
and
was
that was
out of nowhere. Because who has
out of
thought about that
nowhere.
game in like the last 10 years?
But they did it, and it was everyone's like, "Holy shit, this game's fucking awesome!" And fantastic. I would love to see things like that. And again, going back to this discussion that we had last week, I would love to see AAA developers taking a small portion of the money that they're bringing in and using it to fund single A or double A or small indie things under that umbrella for things like that. How many
Or let them
fucking
flourish
IPs?
instead of killing them before they're about to release?
So do we need another version of fucking The Last of Us? No, but you know what would be pretty cool is like maybe looking into like Sly Cooper or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, right. There are so many games. There's so many games. Jumping Flash. I remember people loved the shit out of that game, right? We're never going to see it again. Knights, never going to see it again.
I think that
Like,
had a remake, or not a remake, but a remaster.
right, I think it did, right? And it had a sequel at one point,
Yep.
and then never heard from it again.
Nope.
Those are like, throw me a bone, man. Like, throw me that shit. Like, throw me something like from like my childhood that I'd be like, oh, cool.
But see,
Like,
that's
I'd
very
love to see this.
specific to you too, though.
It's it'll be specific to anyone. Everyone's going to have a game that they played with of our age group.
Yes.
There's going to be a game that somebody played that was not super popular but really impactful on them that they would love to see a remake of that they simply cannot play anymore. It just
Yep.
does not exist.
I have a question, and I want to ask Mike first because I think I know what his sentiment is based on what we've talked about already. But
Yep.
out of curiosity, when you hear a game, well, whether you recognize it or not, when you hear that a game is a remake or a remaster of another game, what is your gut reaction to it? Is it, oh no, not again, or that's cool, I'm glad this is living again, or I don't know anything about this, let's check it out, or something along those lines?
It really is. It's really situational.
Okay.
I would have to say it's situational because some games, and like you guys said, it's your own personal preference at that point, where you don't if you don't like certain games. Perfect example for me. I enjoy sports games to play it every once in a while. I do not agree with re-releasing a new version every single year. Just like they did, just like the same idea was with the constant Call of Duties,
I think sports games just have that established now.
right.
I feel like sports games are a whole other enigma when it comes to like yearly releases. It makes sense for that.
It does, but at the same time, it's annoying.
Sean, don't give me that. Rosters change in sports games. You get new players. Sometimes the rules change, so they have to adapt for that shit. It makes sense for those to come out yearly.
Yes and no. Before, yes. Now, especially where you can release patches and updates and stuff like that, you can go between. You can go more than a year.
Okay, I agree with that. I can see that.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
But you can't update.
The reason why
you can't update the underlying things of a game, though. You can't basically remake the game that's already out by updating it.
Sure.
Which is why they have to make these games.
No, I think the thing is, and to point to Mike's point, sure, release a new version of that game every 5 years, and in the interim, it's basically the only thing you're releasing is some texture packs, right? And literally a database spreadsheet. That's it. So you could release that. You could pay a nominal fee for that re-release, but that's not what makes the company money. What makes the company money is you paying full price for a game that they didn't put that much effort into, and that they know you will buy. I mean, I remember somebody saying, like, because there was a point too where there was a lot of Madden fatigue, and people were like, and I remember they were also releasing like the NCAA college ball games, right? Mm-hmm. And they were releasing like a new one every year. And I remember reading like a Game Informer article a million years ago. They're like, just give us a new roster, man. Like,
and I think that game series just stopped after a certain point too.
Right, because eventually the market says part of the problem is they know we're going to buy it. Like Call of Duty's clear example. Assassin's Creed, another clear example, especially with the remake of Black Flag.
That was very selective. I would argue that they saw the they saw how well adapted Assassin's Creed 2 was, and then like turned that into its own trilogy, and then re-released it like at least twice more. They bundled them all together, and then they made the Ezio trilogy or whatever later on. They didn't properly remaster any of those except for Black Flag because of how well received that one was.
I'm not talking about the remasters. What I'm talking about is they release one every year, and then you get fatigue, and then they stop releasing them every year. And then you start putting out, hey, and then people remember, oh yeah, this was a really great series. You know what you're not going to see probably a remaster of? Valhalla. You're probably not going to see a remaster of Shadows. You're not going to see a remaster of any of these newer games because we had that fatigue already. So now the easy solution is, instead of saying, let's go back to the ground level, let's look at what made these games popular, let's stop pushing it every year. What they're going to do is they're going to take really popular IPs, upgrade them, push them out, because they'll make $60 off of you, or $80. And again,
I don't think we'll see remakes of those soon. I think we'll see them later on.
I mean, we'll see, because I think we're also reaching a nexus point now where most of these remakes and remasters are of older IPs on different hardware. Right. I think we're reaching a nexus point now where, like, we might have maybe one, maybe two more hardware generations after this. I don't think we're going to see much more of it because hardware is prohibitively expensive, and we're starting to see the advent of cloud games. Yep. One of the things I put on there that we were going to talk about was I think Xbox is releasing a streaming game thing for free where you can watch ads before it, which
I hadn't
is
seen
a great
that.
business model. Yeah, that's and the article that I saw on was like, it feels gross, and it does feel gross. But
They're
we'll
also
do
adding
it.
a 360 library category thingy for the ROG Ally too, to make the backwards compatible games backwards compatible for the handhelds.
Right. And at the end of the day, it's just about making money. And again, no shit. I get it. It's a fucking industry, man.
Yeah.
There are parts of me that are like, hey, I want to see a re-release of Chrono Trigger, and I probably won't ever see it.
I'm all for it if it funds the studio and they're able to make their bigger games or the things that they actually want to do.
But our, but the thing is, if the market dictates that we see value or we want remakes, no company's going to say, "Well, we'll put out new games." They're going to say, "No, we'll just keep doing the same fucking remakes."
Looking at it with my analysis eyes, remakes and remasters were a trend of a certain generation, and now we're moving towards the MMO or live service games, just so that way they can have a steady stream of income. Where later on, all this stuff is going to collapse. I don't know what the next trend of gaming is going to be, because it doesn't really look like the industry is growing right now. Everybody's just trying to hold
No,
on to what they have.
Right.
right. And that is the biggest problem. I think the biggest problem that we're going to run into is eventually we're going to hit the point of, okay, I don't want to see another remake. We're not going to buy it. We'll end up picking something else. I'm actually where I think we're going to start seeing a lot of traction is again going to be indie games because we don't have those new things that we want to get put back out onto new platforms. That doesn't exist anymore. And me using Assassin's Creed Shadows as an example, sure we might see at some point they might port it to a new system with some minimal upgrades, but like you're not going to get a remaster of a game, you need to have that be a new IP that actually touches you and makes you want to see it again. And we're not seeing that.
Yeah.
We're just seeing the same old IPs over and over and over again. And which is why it's super refreshing to see a game like Expedition 33 or like Mina the Hollower or like all of these games that are coming out because it feels novel to have a new IP come out that I want to see more of, but it makes me worried because again, there's going to be a point 15 years down the road we're going to be like, dude, we got another Skyrim for my brain chip.
Yeah.
Mike, thoughts?
No, I'm agreeing with a lot of the things that he's talking about. There's not really much I can add to what the two of you have mentioned so far and what the point where we're at. And that's where is part of the reason why I'm fearful as to we're at that point where we can be at that crash. Because all I'm just thinking is we're at the point where are we at the point where people were feeling with video games and the turning point of like when ET was released and they had a land full of those games. That is what I'm worried about.
That was
You know what
just a
year that
straight
was, by
bad
the way?
game. What year?
You know what year that was
I used to remember.
1983, the year I was born.
Oh,
The year I was born was the great video game crash.
so it's your fault.
1983. I broke the entire industry. All right, because again, it's a little bit late. I want to just pose one thing. If there was a remake or remaster of any game that you would want,
You had the same question I did.
I'm the host, baby.
Yeah.
You gotta host it up. So,
Same
what would
brain.
it be? We'll start with Mike.
I will be very upset if there is one and I'm not aware. If they do I wouldn't say a remaster. I want them to toe the line as far as they can between remaster and remake with it. Suikoden. That's what got me into JRPGs. I would love to see it
Suikoden.
revamped.
Suikoden.
Yeah.
Sean's looking it up.
I'm sorry. So you said what was it again?
Suikoden.
Okay.
Because the premise
See if
of
there's-
it is, for me,
That's fair.
spin-offs. Yeah, they don't like development future.
I have two, and I can't decide which one.
oh, they did remaster it. Damn it!
Get it?
But they didn't remake it. It's just a remaster.
Yeah. I'd have to see. You couldn't remaster. I have to see what those images look like.
Didn't I tell you that that came out?
You might have. Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
And I think I was disappointed when I looked at it.
Oh, you're gonna. So actually, it's on the. It released last year on PlayStation 4, 5, Nintendo Switch, Xbox, and again, the thing that makes me kind of curious is it's a PSP game, so I'm curious if they actually did anything for this updated version. Probably not.
Looking at it, the background fights, the background scenes definitely are different because that was not available back then. I'm gonna have to play it just to see what if it makes me curious. I'm scared, but it makes me curious.
Hey, man. I mean, this is what it looks like. This is one of the images. It's pretty looking.
It is.
Ooh, it's like Dragon Warrior? Is that what I'm thinking of? No. Yes?
Fantasy Star?
Dragon Quest.
Dragon Quest. That's the one.
Yeah.
Copy image. Or at least this is how I remember the game. Or close to it.
I mean, that's cool looking.
Not too far off.
Even then, I think that might be a remaster too.
Yeah, that looks way too crisp for what would have released on a CRT.
That's Golden Sun.
I love Golden Sun.
Is it? No, that's still. Either which way, I want it to toe that line, to be honest.
Fair?
What about you guys?
Adam,
Hello.
lay it on me.
Was the original question remake or remaster or either?
Either.
Okay. I would like to both. I would like to see a remake of The Legend of the Dragoon from PS1.
Okay.
And I would like to see them remaster just to re-release. I just lost the name of the game. Fuck. It shares Xenosaga. Xenogears is the one that I want them to redo. I had to think of the new one. Xenogears. I love that game.
Is that the one where it was like originally going to be like this sprawling epic that got like severely truncated?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I keep seeing things on that where people are like, we just want to see what the original thing was going to look like.
It needs a proper ending for that game.
Yeah.
But it
'Cause
has
it's like
one of the
all
best battle
FMVs.
systems of any game that I've played. It's really, it's neat.
That's what I'm saying. Well, hey, maybe somebody will be listening to us and be like, you know what? We're going to make your dreams come true.
It's been like 20 years. I doubt that's going to happen now.
Yeah, I think for me, I mean, again, it's going to be Chrono Trigger. That's just like, I mean, there's a million ports of it. I'd love to see I would love to see them do a Octopath Traveler type art
That
style
would be
with
cool.
that. And I think that, and again, back to this idea of, you know, let's just call it a remaster because again, you're fundamentally changing. Well, I don't know. Like that's kind of toes the line depending on what they add to it. Um, I think that there's a lot of games out there that could benefit for some, like it's just a quick spit shine. But again, like as Mike, you put it correctly, it's really, really specific. There are some games where you see it come out and you're like, oh hell yeah, right?
Yeah.
Like if they did an updated HD version of No More Heroes or something, fucking rock on, man. Um, but if they're re-releasing like I don't know, fucking Black Ops 1 again, and it's like, all right,
I'm
yeah, we
re-releasing
played
Barbie
it.
Horse Trainer.
Don't get my hopes up. Don't get my hopes up, man.
Sorry, man.
All right. On that note, anything else you guys want to add?
I have a question, but I don't think that it's related to this podcast anymore because we didn't talk about it in the beginning.
Well,
You were supposed to give me
throw
a
it out
breakdown of my marathon match that you watched.
Oh yeah, he did great. No, honestly, like, which I'll give you the feedback when we play later, and
Okay.
I'll be like, "Yo, man, how the fuck do you do that shit?" Because I feel like a right tool when I'm playing. Just so everyone's clear, there was a run that we did last night, and we're playing this new PvE mode, and me and Mike had like combined probably like 20 bot kills, right? And Adam walked away with 60, 60. And I don't know how I feel about that. You are a dangerous, dangerous man. I'm scared for my safety around you. And stop huffing glue.
Just be happy you're on my team.
Hey,
I feel very inadequate and realize, holy crap, I'm dragging your ass down.
It's not that bad.
typically, I'm in the same boat. I think me and Mike, there's like about every 3 times every match, one of us will go help.
Dad comes running in to save the day.
Okay, kids, you got yourself in this situation. You got to get yourself out.
Put you in my backpack.
And
Don't
that's how
bring
I
you
end
around.
up in the freaking remote. That's how I end up getting stuck in a corner in the middle of freaking nowhere.
See, with those, we need to like spread out and like search everything. But then I gotta come back. It's all good.
It's good stuff.
I'll teach you guys. It's not that bad. All right. Ooh, Sean, do you want to take us out the normal way, or you just want to say bye?
I want you to take us out the normal way.
If you want
The
more
host has
from the...
spoken.
What'd you just say?
I said the host has spoken.
The host usually does this job. If you want...
I gave up my seat.
We're on Facebook and Threads and Instagram and Blue Sky, and we have a Patreon, and the podcast goes live every Wednesday at 7:30, and the video version of the podcast goes live on YouTube at the same time. Yay.
Yeah.
Yay. Come talk to us on the socials. It's fun stuff. I just
Buy
put
our
up...
Patreon.
Buy our Patreon. I just put up the text thread from us earlier, being Chaos Gremlins or whatever. That was funny. It was good.
Chaos Gremlins.
That was awesome.
You Chaos Gremlin, you.
Hey, it worked out.
Did it.
We got an episode out of it.
I feel like we did, and I think people are going to be like, don't ever let that fat-headed Irish guy
What
talk
the fuck
again.
happened? They were doing so well.
What? Oh man, like I watched it. I watched the Hindenburg crash in real time.
Nice.
All right, everybody.
Shall we go take a break and then maybe do another vault run? If you guys feel up to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I am always up, and I have tomorrow off, so I am ready.
Fuck yeah.
Yay! I unfortunately have to work, but I'm gonna.
I have to
gotta
work
go
too,
check on
but-
the nose.
It's all good.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.